But one question I have for you though is as you began to, everything from learning Spanish to learning how to teach to learning multiple dances, were there parts or periods of time where you dealt with maybe insecurity or self doubt where you just thought, I'm not going to be able to do this or I'm not going to be able to do this right? Or maybe the common theme when we start dancing is, do I look funny? So did you deal with any of that?
You say it in the past tense. It's definitely present tense. Like I still get that feeling. I mean, I consider myself a continual learner. I mean, there's certain things I'm like really confident in, just comes with training and time. But I mean, yes, when I started, I was so nervous. I was just a ball of nerves. I was like, I'm doing everything wrong. But really, what I loved and kept me dancing, what otherwise would have just like with fear kept me out of it, was how encouraging those communities were. It was really different than like the sports world I grew up in that was very cutthroat. It's very like you do X, Y, and Z or you're, running and running forever. But at least these dance communities that I had found, I know every community is different. They were just happy we're there. So even if I look silly or my turns were wrong or my feet weren't pointed or whatever, they were so welcoming. And I just was really drawn to that feeling of, it felt like it was just so many, especially the hip hop groups, the hip hop communities I was in. It was so many different cultures and different backgrounds and different styles of dance combined into one. And everybody was so excited to show you a little bit of their style. So I was really drawn to that. So I think, when we grow up and we're like out of that childhood innocence, we have a lot of like shame and fear around, especially dancing. Like
Yes.
it's mainly dancing. People are like, "Ooh, like I don't want to look silly." But then somehow in these dance communities, just like embracing that kind of like childlike play and silliness and realizing no one's judging you. Like everybody's just moving and dances in their own particular way. I think that was really freeing, but it's very hard to overcome that like, oh, everyone's looking at me, oh, I'm not as good as them, and all that, especially because dance is so much about your own body and like what you're doing with your own body versus like throwing a football or like kicking a soccer ball. Like there's a lot of focus on you, especially when you're moving. So it's really intimidating. So I definitely still feel that way sometimes, especially when I do new styles. Like, yeah, frequently, definitely not past tense, but it's okay. We'll work through it. There's a lot of joy to be found when you like let go of that fear and you're like really supported in community. So